The Crimson Jungle by Camilla Mera. An adventure for Ronin by Slightly Reckless Games. Please, brave warriors, I beg of you to travel to the Scarlet Temple and put an end to those who tarnished my honour.
So what is our motivation for doing this if we're both so afraid, apart from the dream is compelling us?
You turn to me and you say, and I'm like, no, this is the right thing to do. We need to set the spirits to rest.
The boat scrunches onto the shore and the sand there, and Misao kind of hops out and holds it there for you and just kind of looks around a bit sheepishly. Yes, well, we're here. Good luck.
He never expects to see us alive again. I hold my divining rod and I cast it around.
It's just kind of a general vibe of
oh my god,
danger.
A threat is everywhere.
Yeah, the jungle has been waiting patiently for you.
I don't feel like it's been waiting that patiently.
Exactly.
And I'm going to say I slept on my rod, or like holding my rod.
Excuse you as well. You feel an eerie presence of a predator hiding among the foliage, observing you. A large, pearled tiger comes out of the foliage, and it walks between you and the wounded man.
This beast has caught its prey. Let us respect the...
please! It
hurts!
Please! As you back away, the tiger relaxes and turns to prowl towards his victim. You hear his screams as he's dragged away.
I just want to lay these bodies to rest.
Okay, but we don't have time for this. We're here for a mission. And like I said, there is a natural order to things round here. It's the circle of life. Leave it be.
Chapter 3. What's Shackenin? So, you turn your back on the grove with the tiger and you head through the only kind of path that is visible towards you, off towards this shack in the distance. But looking at it, and based on the kind of travel that you've done so far, you'd estimate this is probably about a day's worth of travel away to get there. So
wow,
you've travelled about a half a day already, so you will need to rest at some point just to get a bit of shut-eye.
And we need to eat some dinner today as well.
Yeah, can't forget.
Can't go on your rations any longer.
Yeah. And sorry, so we can see the shack?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
so
it's
we've
about
gone past the
half a day.
tiger.
It's like another half a day, or it's another
It's
full
a
day from
full
here?
day from the grove.
Is it like up on
to get
a
there?
hill?
It's actually
Or
further
like...
down. You kind of the grove was a bit uphill. You climbed from the flower grove. I'm saying grove a lot. Oasis-y area up to this one where the tiger was, and now you turn and you can see it kind of the path descends down to the valley, and you see this little shack there in the distance.
Interesting. And we think the shack is the whatever remains of the old temple.
No, you don't think that.
We don't think anything.
We don't think that.
No,
that.
you've had like a bit of a vision in your mind's eye with the dream of what the temple looked like, but this is not it. This is basically, from the distance, it is a tiny shack. You would expect something that was temple-like to be much more majestic, and the energy that you've been feeling doesn't feel like it is traceable from here. It feels further in to the forest, so you've still got a ways to go. Or the jungle, sorry, you've got a ways to go.
Yeah. I guess we keep going, keeping an eye out for like somewhere to stay the night. Yeah. Do we think the shack looks like? I'm guessing we can only see it from a distance. Like, is there any smoke coming off of it? Like, is someone?
There's a thin wisp of smoke from what you can see.
Oh, interesting. So someone might be alive there.
Yeah. You would assume there's activity there. There's smoke from there, but it is a bit hard to see because of the kind of clouds, because there is still thick clouds overhead as well, and they look angry as well, angry and red.
Is it still raining blood?
It's drizzling blood.
Drizzling blood,
yeah, drizzling blood. It's a real nice look to it for you all.
Nice precipitation.
Bloodzard, not quite. You have to go. There's a mountain to the left that is a bloodzard.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Right now it's a blist.
Grim.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's just kind of lightly spattering you. So, and you've got your leaf umbrellas though.
Yeah, and I assume just our clothes are just like sodden red by this point.
A bit, yeah. It's not
nicely moisturized.
It's not the one. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's we
We don't have to do sanity rolls in this game, do we?
Well, that's a good idea. Why don't you make me a spirit? No, none of that.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah, the path remains very similar to what you have encountered before. It's reasonably well trodden, but it's still quite overgrown and tough going. So you will be kind of chopping through when you are making headway. There are, jungle sounds around you, and you see thousands of insects around. At one point, just a deafening roar of these kind of cicada type insects around you as they're chirping away. But it's reasonably good progress. After about half a day's travel, nighttime starts to dawn and you feel tired, so it might be advisable to set up camp and have your victuals for the evening.
Is it advisable to do it here, Ray? Or should we move on?
I think the lovely games master has identified a spot for us.
It might be. It might not be. It's up to you.
Look,
it's up to you to find somewhere safe.
It's the end of the day, right? So you can ask your stick a question, and then when we wake up, you reset. So ask your little stick, your divining rod,
a
yes or no.
Would you like me to ask my stick?
Do you suggest we camp here?
Okay.
I don't know. Or I mean, it's your stick. You
No. I mean, I always take your suggestions. Okay.
However, maybe you could ask better than the last question.
Yeah, I still haven't deconstructed why that was such a bad question, but I'm looking forward to that. Anyway,
I've pondered on this. It wasn't. No, the thing is, it wasn't a bad question. It could have just been worded better. That's all.
There's no such thing as bad questions.
No,
only stupid questions.
There are bad questions. Stupid ones are a different matter.
There's no such thing as a bad question. You're just full of stupid ones, Ray.
Thanks, Yami. So I'm gonna ask my divining rod. Is this a good place to rest for the night?
I will say you are stood in the. Have you found Have you gone off the path? You stood in the middle of the path.
I thought you said we found a space that would.
Well, no. I said you need to. It's about time for you to camp. You need to get tired. You're stood in the middle of the path at the moment. Feeling a bit world weary. It's a good place to camp. Yeah, fine. Don't worry about it. Just the T-Rex has come through here. Yeah. It's all good.
I think based on our current strategy, we obviously need to move off the path into the kind of undergrowth. So
yes,
ask wherever we go. I will be setting up our little net tent with a camouflage, and I'll be laying my bear traps around it.
Cool. Yeah, good shout.
Yeah. Let's try and find a spot off the path that similar to.
Cool. Then both roll me resilience to find a specific spot.
I'm looking at you, Yamanakaze, because I got a 9.
What do we have to? Are you going to tell us what we have to beat?
12. You just need a 12.
Is that for everything these days? It always seems to be 12.
12 is normal difficulty on this.
But still less than 50% likelihood of success.
What can I say? It's a hard word. I didn't make the rules, Ray. Right, I just enforced them with an iron fist. So
okay, we both failed.
I would say you eventually do find somewhere, but it takes you a while to do so, and you won't be able to rest as long as you would have had you found somewhere. Yes, hello.
Can I eat my snacks?
Can I ask a rules question? So I've got this Grace of Redemption that says a creature of your choice gains.
Oh, wait, we can re-roll our fucking thing, can't we?
You can use virtues.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can use a virtue. Yeah.
Would you like to use virtues?
We should both do that.
Yes, please.
But can I use my? Yeah, that's very well remembered, Yami. My Grace of Redemption. Can I do that after a roll has been done, or do you think it has to be done, but it doesn't?
Is this your class feature?
Yeah, 14 now.
It's a text.
You find the text 14. So yeah, you find somewhere perfectly to do it, which means you can spend time making appropriate shelter and making some snacks as well. I think you said you were going to do if you wanted to, and it won't cut into your kind of rest time. So that's good. I am looking for text. I'll find it. Which one is it? The Grace of Redemption. Yes. If you succeed, the power of the text shall be yours, but one you shall be taken from your daily supply. So I would say you would have to do it beforehand. It's like a guidance thing.
Yeah. Cool. That's fair. Oh, I guess I'll re-roll all my d4s. Oh wait, no, we haven't rested yet.
Okay, so we'll rest after.
Would you like another crack at making the bedding? You know that you didn't. You tried to make the sleeping bags the other night, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll try and make some comfier bedding tonight.
Yeah, perfect.
Is this another resilience roll?
Yeah, I'd take a resilience again, okay, cool. Please.
Yeah, 18.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so you make.
Geez, we're in luxury. Memory foam. How have we found that in the jungle?
It's just bamboo.
Memory banana leaf.
Yeah, it's cut the bamboo down and done it all. There's all types of vegetation that you could make. Just a couple of little flower buds.
Don't worry, Yamanakaze. I made you a very, very hard bed out of the zones that you prefer.
I'm looking forward to 100% bamboo cotton or whatever.
Yeah,
but they actually do that.
Just give me a year or two.
Some spider silk pajamas just materialize there for you. Yeah, so nice. You have made a nice bedding there. And what I will ask you to do then, if you're, I assume you'll take your meal as well.
Yes, absolutely. We're eating and drinking.
Yep,
yes, so we're hydrating.
A use of food and water.
Yeah,
each,
so down to 3 food and 3 water. No, because we gained a food
and a water.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you gained a food and water.
Then I'm down to 3 food and 4 water.
Oh, look at you with the mismatched
and water.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I might dehydrate before you do then. Well, I mean, I will.
Well,
just based on
we're buddies. In the interest of keeping a divining rod with us, I'll share some of my water with you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Now he knows that it doesn't work for him. Then he'll be using it. Cool. So both of you, seeing as you've rolled well on your bedding, when you rest, roll me a d6, please, both of you.
3.
1.
The bedding does not provide. It's comfy, but doesn't provide any bonus. I would have said on a 4 up, you would have had a +1 to a stat.
Well, for both of us.
Well, if you had rolled a 4 each, Ray, each would have. I would have said that. I think it was a really nicely well made bedding there. So you rest through the night. What sounds to be, hear the sounds of something like skittering outside your kind of tent, and it stops, and there's a weird kind of like snuffling around there for a bit, and if you have woken up for this, you hear like there's a heartbeat, not just 1, 2, and then it kind of goes off if you stay completely still, and you hear another small creature kind of cry out in the dark, and then it's gone. But the rest of the night passes uneventfully. Now it's time to roll a lot of dice. So, who wants to roll the D20 for the day for the Black Calendar?
Do that, because Yama has done the other 2. Oh, I can't roll anything in my thing. Oh,
yeah, but there's a reason. There's a reason.
8.
Yeah, Yama rolled the other 2.
What reason is that?
I had better luck with the hand. I had the hot hand.
The weighted dice, is that it? The weighted hand.
Yeah.
It's finally, we got him. Yamanakaze, roll me a 6-sided dice, please.
5.
So last night was a particularly dark night for you, whereas the other night when you slept, it was eerily calm. The night seemed to creep in quite severely in a kind of an oppressive way. So just something to know for you there. Roll your virtues and your spirit uses, please.
Yeah, I got a 3 and a 1, and the 1 becomes a 4.
Cool, perfect.
Is spirit use also a D4?
It is, and you add your spirit value too, don't you? Your text use, essentially.
Does Yamanakaze have texts?
I don't think so, but he can roll for it anyway, because in case he gets one, he can still use them.
Oh, interesting. Does the talisman...
They would count. The
talisman
would do it.
Yeah, so for my...
The seal. Sorry. I thought it was a talisman.
But it's called a seal, but it is shaped like a talisman.
So for my spirit, I rolled a 4.
Nice.
Sorry, and then so I rolled the D4 for my spirit, but then my virtues is a D2, so I just roll the D4 and half it. So that's virtues are 2 because I rolled a 3.
Nice. I'm picturing with the seals. Did you ever watch the Jackie Chan Adventures cartoon where they had?
No. God, yeah, I did.
Yeah, so I'm picturing them like the Zodiac medallions they had there. They're kind of these stone little tablets there that you could hold in one hand and do it that way as these seals.
God, I have not thought about that show.
Yeah, throwback, isn't it? Yeah. But there we go.
I definitely
do.
Comment in the chat, like us, if you remember.
I'm deleting this bit. It's terrible. Terrible. Cool. So the morning dawns and you break camp.
Amazing.
Excellent. Has any visitors, any more dead bodies, anything around us?
Nope. No dead bodies.
No tigers.
No
lions, bears.
No.
Oppressive feeling of evil, of malevolence, basically. Lots of blood.
Ray, you just need therapy.
That's all. Just an oppressive feeling of blood and a malevolent, weird heartbeat of aura that kind of flows out every so often and whispers in the back of your mind. Ray, nothing to really worry about.
Just take your citalopram, you'll be fine.
Yamanakaze looks at me and just says, like, my white mask has just got these like 2 like stains of blood under where the eye sockets are.
I'm not being funny, but I don't think your face mask is white at all anymore.
I occasionally clean it down.
Wipe it off. You got your cloth to
when
do
you're
it.
Not
with
looking.
What?
With
more blood.
Bloody rags. Yeah, my blooded clothes.
Just smear it round.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Right, let's keep walking down slightly off the beaten path. Again, we'll stick to our formation. So I will go about 20, 30 feet in front and Ray behind with your divining rod out. And obviously, just to note, I've obviously got my 2 poison shuriken, just easily grabbable to pounce and attack if required. So yeah, everything's packed up, all obviously, and we'll keep moving on. Is there anything noteworthy that we're seeing as we walk down this path? Any sounds? Ray, is your divining rod picking up anything?
No, how far away are you from each other?
About 20 30 feet.
Yeah. It's there's that constant thrum of danger there, but there is a point actually where you reach out and you grab what you think is a vine to like chop through or pull it apart, and a big snake actually unfurls and wraps around your arm, and this viper then goes to attack you. So who would like to roll me a d6 for initiative?
Is that for the snake or for us?
So it's a d6. If you get a 4 to 6, I believe you go first. A 1 to 3, enemies go first.
Roll well, Pav. And just one person rolls for the whole.
Correct.
Full good
yes. Yes, and then you could decide your. Nice. So you two will go first. The way you decide your individual initiative is you can choose it if you want to, or it's swiftness plus d6 to determine who goes first within the group.
I feel like you go first because you'll have seen this thing
If I shadow step, can I just teleport it off my arm?
What does your shadow step say?
It says teleport a short distance by stepping into shadows.
Yeah, I think you could.
I'll just do that then.
Yeah, nice. Nice. So you just you step in, and as you do, as your body kind of gets there, this thing is about to strike, and as your arm kind of gets in, it just sits on the floor. It's like, oh. How far away do you end up?
It's swiftness +1, so +3. I don't know how it works, movement, but it means I've got...
It's kind of dramatic movement, like it's what kind of would make sense. You can use it swiftness +1. So I'll say you get away, but you can't teleport far enough that it can't then make distance to you if it wanted to.
Per day?
Swiftness +1. Yeah.
You can use it. And what's your swiftness? Am I allowed to ask that?
So my swiftness is +2 already. Plus we gave that an extra. When we meditated, we gave. Oh, that's gone.
That's long gone.
Then with that, swiftness is +2, so then another +1, so +3.
So you can use it 3 times a day. So you've used it 1, you've got 2 uses left. Yeah. Did you want to make an attack before you did that? You could give it a little stab if you've got any weapons on you.
I did think about using my bone dagger, but I think I just move on, just leave it be. Like I'm not going to waste time entering combat with a snake when we've got bigger fish to fry. And I think based on my characteristics, I'm not really... I need to get in and out quickly with my attacks, so I don't want to antagonize this creature, even though it probably wants to... I feel like it's only attacking me because I've grabbed it instead of thinking it vine. So I'm the aggressor here. So if I just step away, then I'm sure it'll be fine.
Right.
If it's not, then I've got my shuriken ready to flick at it. So can I hold my attack and just see what it does, or do I? Once I move on for my turn, it's done.
Once you move on, it will be then its thing to act.
Do we? Sorry, Karen.
I was going to say, yeah, it's fine. I'll just see what happens.
Cool.
Can we ready actions or prepare things or no? It's go and then go.
It's basically go then go. But if you wanted to try and, what are you thinking of doing?
I'm thinking I want to respect for nature as a core tenet of mine. I feel like if the snake's gonna slither off into the jungle, then let the snake be. If it's gonna come for us, then I'm not gonna let it.
I've got my Kusarigama in my hand, ready. If it comes out, I want to smack it.
Kusarigama. Yeah. So you know what it is? It's like a sickle on one end with the chain and the weight at the other one.
Yeah. So I was gonna, and it's a ranged attack. So I was gonna basically if it comes near, prepare to throw it out.
Well, so currently it's on the path in between you and Yamanakaze Rei, as where he stepped into the shadows. Well, this is a good question. Did you go back towards Rei, or did you go further down the path?
Do you retreat or advance?
I advance. Because I don't have to double back on the snake and then come across it again. But then we'll see if it goes back in.
Thanks. Just let it come after me.
Well, at the end of the day, right, my sorry, it's in my tenets for self-preservation. So, but the thing is, right, I've still got your back, so we can see if it then slithers back off to where it came from. You can just walk past it, no problem. If it doesn't, then we'll both have to attack.
Yeah,
it's fine. So
I'm gonna take a few steps back and watch what it does, and hope it.
So Snake, it's in your best interest to fuck off.
Snake does look around, and it kind of sees you and kind of rears up and goes and you see both of its fangs, and I don't. How far away did you move?
Me?
No, Yamanakaze. Sorry. When you teleported, did you teleport and then carried on? I mean, have you? Yeah, I would wonder how.
I mean, what's the max distance I can? The max distance I can travel. That's how far.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's fine. So you would probably move, far enough away. So the thing, sits there for a second, kind of poised, curled, ready to go. And just waits there in the path.
We give it like
ready to strike.
A minute or so, see if it gets bored.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, it does, lowers down, and then slithers off into the jungle.
All right, let's move on then.
Yeah, I'm going to give it another 30 seconds just to...
So you can say a little prayer for it?
No! So it can...
As you wait, nothing happens.
Yeah, cool. I hold my divining rod out and carry forward.
Come on, Ray, keep moving.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. It's tough going through the next part of the journey, but nothing else untoward happens. You're quite lucky in, avoiding any further danger or encounters. And as you get closer to this structure, it's growing larger in your vision. You can pick out a few more details of it, but the air now takes on a smell of cinder and oil that kind of overpowers the smells of the jungle that you've had so far. This structure you see is kind of like a house, and it's well sealed up from the outside. There's a little bit of ground cleared around it, which is how you could see it, and that the trees have been felled, and it's kind of kept a bit clear from the straight walls of the jungle. But, it's pretty well fortified considering it's a wooden structure. You're probably a good, maybe about 10 minutes away from it now. If there's anything you'd like to do before approaching.
I think it's, as we get closer, I feel like we're more likely to encounter some people who may not be favourable to us, so I definitely recommend that we go maybe a bit further into the undergrowth so we're out of sight a bit more. I know it'll take us slightly longer to get there and work our way through, but we also need to do it quietly, so that adds a bit of time. But I think, and I have Ray, you come closer to me with your divining rod out, so as we edge closer it points towards any people you may see, because clearly someone's close by if we can see smoke coming from it. Someone's inside burning something. So I want to see that divining rod. Make sure we don't run into any baddies, because then I kind of also want to just stop and observe for a bit, see the comings and goings of people. If anyone's coming out or anything.
Yeah, I think watching for a bit from within the tree line sounds... The jungle line? Sounds,
tree line. Tree line's fine.
Sounds good. A good plan. And then if not, we can always, if there's nothing, we can always shout out. I don't think we should surprise whoever's inside.
No, we want... If the place is well sealed up, we wanted to draw them out, right? So I'm...
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking... So let's have a look.
I'm thinking we don't want them to think that we're a threat, and you're like, we don't want to take them inside their own house.
Well, I want to observe them first. We're speaking hypotheticals here. We don't know what's going on, so let's just get to the point and observe them first, and then we'll see what to do.
You've probably been travelling, to this point about another half a day to get here.
Okay. Can we let's meditate.
I don't think we can.
Only meditate at certain specific points.
Has it got to be a shrine?
Let me see.
This is why you're only allowed to write haikus in front of a shrine. That's why poetry.
No, you can only do it once a week. Sorry, that's why. You can only benefit from it once per in-game week.
Right.
That's
fine.
the caveat. You can, I assume.
Well,
you can
let's just go. Let's just
you
keep
just
traveling.
led us into the sort of jaws of meditating at that shrine. I see.
Have we wasted our...
You had the potential for many things to happen that you just haven't happened yet. So
meditation
could have been useful.
So the +1 that we received and only lasts a day, we basically wasted.
Not wasted. You successfully divined any potential threats that may have. You've robbed yourself of fun with this divining rod, is what I'm going to say here. You've robbed yourself of the experience of seeing what cool things were in store in this
I'm sorry
jungle.
that the wizard annoyed you.
Not me. I'm never annoyed. I just, just rip for the ivory statue. Rest in power for that. Yeah. Cool.
Zen Sakura's been playing it safe.
No, it's a dangerous place. Like, you might as well. There's nothing, discretion is the better part of valor. The Zen Sakura family motto.
Right. Okay, so we found a spot to watch, and we'll build our little net camouflage up. I'm actually going to set up a bear trap, maybe 3 or 4 meters away from our position.
Mm-hmm. Just on the path in the woods, or in the
not
jungle,
in the path,
sorry?
Just off the path. So where we kind of are.
Mm-hmm.
Just who knows what happens. I'll set one of them up, and then we'll watch. What's going on? What do I see?
So there is smoke rising from the chimney again. You wait 5 minutes, nothing really changes. 10 minutes, still kind of smoke rising. Up to about half an hour, there's no comings or goings. You actually hear more happening in the jungle. At one point, you've been sat still so long, and you look down, the spider has started to kind of crawl up your legs, just because you've been so sedentary there. Occasionally a little, like a mosquito or two lands on you, and you swat them away, but it's quite calm here.
Okay.
Imagine Ray is a lot less able at staying still and hidden amongst so many creepy crawlies.
Yeah, I think you probably would be able to attain states of stillness, and it probably comes as part of your training to be able to channel a certain frame of mind as needed to. So maybe, how often do you call upon that in situations where you might be uncomfortable, or how long before you go stir crazy?
Yeah, alright, you sound like my old master.
Funny you should mention them.
Okay, right, so still nothing after half an hour. Let's give it another half hour.
Knock on the door? How late is it getting? Like, how much do I feel like?
Can we have a short rest now? Because I want to kind of wait until if we're going to make a move, I'd rather wait till it's dark.
Yeah, you can hang out there.
Got more shadows.
It's dark if you wanted to.
Do we see anything else at all, or is it just kind of the same? Nothing.
No, it's just
goings, but the smoke still keeps.
How big is the clearing around the shack?
A good couple of meters.
Oh, so not like
not huge.
Not like
no,
huge. Yeah.
No, it looks like this has been created here. This clearing is kind of artificial in that trees have been chopped down to make the room for it.
We're smelling deforestation.
The real villain of this piece.
Yeah. Well, this guy's got to die, right?
You've not killed anything so far. It's about time you kill an innocent demon lord.
Okay.
I thought you were an assassin.
Let's go and have a look at the shack then. Now it's dark. So is there kind of like a front door or windows, that sort of thing?
There is a front door to it, and I guess, how sneakily are you looking to go up?
Very sneakily.
Am I staying in
swiftness?
The
then
are you telling me to stay back?
Swiftness.
Depends. What do you want to do, the pair of you?
Well, I was asking Yami.
Well, I want to kind of go up to a window, have a look, and see if I can take a peek inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yami, are you telling me that you're trying to be stealthy and I should stay back, or am I bumbling along behind you?
Maybe stay back.
Okay, cool. I'll stay.
But be ready for action.
Okay.
Right. So rolling for
I've got
swiftness.
my eyes on the bear trap. Not what's inside of that thing.
13.
Yeah, that's fine. You would need to beat a 12. So you are able to sneak up to the house, no problem. The windows are essentially shuttered. You can see they are well sealed in the same way the rest of the house is. And you kind of gather that this has been done to prevent any outside creatures from getting in, big and small. It's that kind of thorough. All the pieces fit together really nicely, that there's no real gaps, apart from the chimney, which as you look now, you can see it's kind of got a bit of a covering to it as well. So a bit of like a
stops all the blood from getting in,
like a mesh covering. Yeah, it's like a pot top, but there's also like a mesh there too. So the smoke will stop the smaller insects, but anything bigger won't be able to get through this this kind of pottery mesh lining. It's like
can I see anything inside at all? Like
can't
light,
from here.
At least, like people.
Nope, can't see anything. It's well sealed up.
Right, so I'm going to move around to the door and just see if it opens.
It does not open, but you notice there is a silver chalice on the outside of the door. It's like hanging out there.
Like a cup?
Yes, yeah.
I've got a vial of blood I'm going to randomly pour into this chalice.
Mm-hmm. Are you doing that? Cool. You hear this like chunk, and then a ding, and then a voice from inside kind of goes, enter. You've paid the price. Come on in.
Cool. Come on, Ray, come along.
And a door swings open. So
quickly run along behind to catch up, holding my divining rod out in front of me.
So there, you're greeted with the sight of an elderly man who's kind of stooped over. He's wearing a bit of a vest. He actually has these thick glasses on. He's he kind of walks towards you a bit and goes, well, interesting. Normally I have to ask people to do that, but there we go. You've done it. Welcome. Come on in. And
thank you.
As you look around, you see that inside the walls are covered in kind of herbs and plants, along with hundreds of flasks of weird concoctions and potions of all shapes, colours and sizes. They are all labelled, but you can't read the language that they are labelled in. Not often I get visitors, he says. I have helpful potions to keep you safe from the terrors out there, and I'm always willing to trade to get by. It's interesting to get trade from the outside. I don't really get many deliveries here. And
who are you? Let us introduce ourselves. My name is...
I love a man with manners. Very polite of you. He says, talking over you with a complete lack of manners.
My name is Kenji, and this is my compatriot Sakura.
The pleasure to meet you.
A very startled look that is hidden by my face mask.
Kensuke Yamadote, pleased to make your acquaintance there.
Kensuke? Was that?
Kensuke, yeah.
Kensuke.
Kensuke.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, I assume.
So we've been trekking through the jungle, and we saw your shack. So the path kind of follows. So just passing through, and we just thought we'd say hello.
You don't look like the hunters I normally see. Look a bit ill-equipped for it, but I guess hunters are changing nowadays. Come in all shapes and sizes. Come to test your mettle in the jungle. Bring back a big trophy for somebody. Have you?
Yes, potentially. I've got my net. I've got my bear traps. So yeah, potentially could catch something quite big. But
I always like to trade with the hunters. They bring me such great things that I can work into some fun and interesting concoctions here. Please,
what do you?
if you're interested in trading, I can show you a few wares that might be of interest.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see your wares, and then maybe you can tell us a bit about the jungle itself. Obviously, this is our first time visiting. So there's no real guidebooks around. No TripAdvisor here. So
There won't be. It's changed quite a lot over the past few years, and if it's your first visit, you've come quite far into it. So, colour me impressed here. Here, and he brings out 6 different potions, one of which is a swirling red and orange that looks like flowing lava. The next is mercury looking. It's thick and kind of reflective and a bit dull. The next looks like it absorbs all the light. It's so black and it has a very interesting kind of gloopy consistency. The next is a sickly green and black that doesn't seem to fully mix as he kind of takes it and it shakes around. There's a yellow liquid that seems to be kind of constantly boiling. Or there's one that's a faintly glowing blue potion that looks otherworldly but refreshing. Reminds you of peaceful days. And he points them and goes, so we have the fireworm breath, pointing to the red one. So for this, if you were to consume it, you could breathe fire for the duration of a combat, however long that might be. I'm not too sure about these technical terms that I come up with. It's just how long it goes. You could deal 2d4 fire damage breathing it, but that will cost you 200 Rio. Then the one, he points to the metallic one. This is mirror scarab extract. Very difficult to find, but fun. You coat any inanimate item with this, and an exact copy of it is formed within seconds. That's 300 Rio. Next, we have the obsidian turtle saliva, which is the black potion there. It lets you parry an additional time during combat for 150 Rio, as it speeds up your senses. Points to the green one and says, this we call Widow's Ointment. You can use it on one of your melee weapons, and it deals +2 damage for the duration of this combat. That would be 300 Rio. Then we have the Vial of Grimbane, which is the bubbling yellow one. You can throw this at one of your enemies, and it becomes stunned for 1 round and takes d4 damage. And finally, we have this Light Bloom Elixir, the blue one that makes you feel peaceful. It lets you heal d8 hit points. That's 100 Rio. So I understand, my wares are reasonably expensive, but I'm pretty good at what I do.
And I wouldn't want to insult you and waste your time, but I just don't have the funds to be able to afford any of your potions, unfortunately.
It's a shame. I'm always on the lookout for interesting items that I could use in potion making. So if you encounter any beasts that have some claws or sizable venom glands or something like that, that's something I could work with, and we could maybe do a deal, as I could make many more out of one sack that I could, in providing you one. I give you a potion, I get 10 more. So it's a crying shame. But this is such a great place to be here, despite the danger is part of it. But the flora and fauna are so amazing, and the things we can make, as you can see here, are just wondrous.
Yes, I mean, we're here for a while, so I can always happy to pop back and build that relationship with you, should you so wish.
Yes, indeed. I would be very grateful for that.
Yeah, well, seeing as we're here, we might as well break some bread and get to know each other a bit if we're to build a sort of barter trade relationship. I mean,
perfect.
What brings you out here anyway, apart from, or is it just your passion to make things with what's around here?
That is it. It is my passion. I've been here for many years now. I came not long after the eclipse happened. As I heard, this was, while a dangerous place, had some very interesting items for alchemical properties. So I travelled out here. I managed to set up this clearing, and I hunt occasionally, but I mainly deal in herbs, as you can see. as he gestures around to the shack. But every so often, fine folk like you show up, and they may have taken down a beast that I couldn't handle on my own, and so I can create some of these great potions here.
Is that generally who comes to
Ray's
visit
just
hunters?
Mostly, yes. I tend to every so often the demon clan pokes around, but I make sure the door's well barred for them. We don't want any dealing with them.
Who are the demon clan? I've not heard anyone mention them before.
They are the warriors that stalk. They are the real danger. Animals you can predict. Animals you can establish behaviors for, and you can understand how they'll react in situations. But if you run across a demon clan member, the only thing that you will encounter is savagery and pain. They are the warriors who serve of this land, and it's been getting worse. The storms are becoming more frequent, and the power has been expanding, as you can see from the rain.
Are they related to the Scarlet Temple at all?
That is their base, yes.
So if I wanted to avoid them and stay away from the Scarlet Temple, which area should I not go to?
Where did you come from? How did you get here? I feel if you haven't come from the Grove, you would know where the temple would be. You'd be able to see it almost as you came from the rapids or the lake.
No, we came from the other side.
Then I would suggest if you want to avoid the temple, you go back by same route.
So do not go forward.
Do not go forward.
And tell me more about the demon clan. Like, what do they do? How do they obviously I want to try and avoid them as much as possible, but if I do
you and me both
encounter them, if I do happen to encounter them, what do I do in that situation? How do I avoid it? Or do they have any...
If they don't notice you, you hide. If they've noticed you, the only thing you can do is run or kill them. They won't stop until they can... Yeah, they won't stop. I don't run into them, or if I don't venture far enough away that they would ever get a good look at me. If I have any inkling they're coming, I just, as you can see, shut up here. They tend to leave me well alone. I don't know why, but I'm quite lucky in that respect. Maybe I don't think they come down this way too often.
Ray, meanwhile, is just counting all the different potions on the shelf, like all the different ingredients, and sort of goes, 100! And then turns around and sort of goes, so...
It's 103, actually, but close. You must have miscounted somewhere. There's a couple of duplicates.
One,
two. Yeah.
3.
There's 3 eyes, that's where it is.
Okay. But you said you hunted. Do you perhaps have any, if we can't trade for potions, do you perhaps have any light armor that we could avail of?
I'm afraid I don't. I mainly just trade in this. The hunting is very meager. I will only hunt the smallest of game. Nothing that requires any sort of armor, and it would weigh me down. I use my strength to carry all the supplies rather than carrying anything else. I'm quite quick on my feet, you see, so I'll tend to, and I climb trees well too. So that's how I tend to try and stay alive.
What? Would you perhaps, it's getting dark and there isn't long left in the day. Would we perhaps be able to stay here for the night in some relative safety before we head back?
Well,
we're,
yes,
of course, happy to obviously contribute in some way.
Well, if you kick in for some food, I'll do a bit of booze. We can all have a nice evening together.
That's fine with me. Yeah, we got food and water. We can share.
Perfect. That sounds great. Yeah, you're very welcome. I'd feel remiss turning you out into the wilderness. You both seem like nice enough folk.
How often do hunters come by?
Sometimes it can be a slew of them if word gets out that there might be a very particularly interesting beast on the mountain, but it's become fewer and fewer recently. There used to be more back in the day, but now we
Yeah,
only see the hardier sort.
I imagine the bloodstorms kind of put people off a little bit.
The bloodstorms make the bigger beasts, so it's only the most vicious survive. It drives them into a frenzy. If you ever get caught in the bloodstorm itself, this is a mere blood shower. But the bloodstorms, you must be careful. The beast will be riled up, shall we say? So beware.
The blood.
What is the beast? The beasts,
just beasts, the general beasts, of the jungle will be, they will be more antsy, more dangerous. And so after a blood storm, you won't find me outside. That's for sure.
Can you predict when they are occurring, or they just happen randomly?
Alas, no. There's the nature of this place and the magics that surround it mean that it could just happen any time. But they will happen over a night. It tends to be when things are most riled up, when the most action kind of happens.
We felt our first few nights were quite quiet, so maybe something's due soon. Who knows?
Indeed.
Well, yeah. Well, let's break some bread and get some rest.
So he grabs 6 bowls, 3 for food and 3 which he pours some sake into, and he proffers it out to you and says, "Well, to new friends and to good health."
Indeed, we put our food in. A meal 2 days in a row. Wow, we're living like kings here. Going through.
So
our
if you both subtract, one of you subtract 2, one of you subtract 1, because it'll just say 1.5 of food essentially.
Yeah. So I've got 1 food left then. If I take 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got 2 food and 1 water then.
Cool.
There's nothing, as I said, there's nothing wrong with hunting. Making a bit of eating off the land here. You can forage. There's plenty to be found. The insects make a fine little delicacy if roasted up ever so nicely. Or even the bigger beasts, you could definitely carve some meat off them. And he tells you about how actually tends to be how he gets his food as well. He eats a lot of bugs. That's what you gather from this. He eats a hell of a lot of bugs.
I hear they're slimy but satisfying.
Well, some are very crunchy. That's where the real goodness comes from.
Do you have any tips for surviving out in the jungle?
Just be aware. Don't get complacent. When people get complacent, that's when I find, you wander out one day, a hunter I'd met. He was very cocky, sure of himself, and hunted all over the island and came here thinking it would be no different when I found him, face all puffed up, dead, killed by a single pinprick of an insect bite. But that was the bad insects, obviously the very poisonous ones.
Yeah.
And he goes on to describe that actually this spider is very dangerous, and you, Ray, a shiver runs down your spine as you realise this is the one that was crawling up your leg earlier.
Yeah.
But you know what they say, like you remained calm, nothing happened. Got to respect nature, Ray.
Exactly. Yeah. You've got to just be aware of the power of the creatures out here.
Something like don't try to work against them. Just take a step back, see how order is here, and kind of just roll with it.
You sound like a philosopher. Your garb tells me you wouldn't be one, but if I were to just hear you speak, I might be mistaken.
Yes, I am. I've experienced a lot in life, and I've experienced a lot of death as well. So I think I have an interesting worldview. But then there's also a time and place to not go with the flow. You know what they say. I guess you don't know what they say.
What do they say? No, he sits there on bated breath, leans forward across the fire and goes, he adjusts his glasses.
Only dead fish go with the flow.
Very true. Very true.
So yeah, there's balances that sounds like we can't get complacent here, Ray. But I think we found a good friend.
Yeah, let's just eat and. I think that sake got to you quite hard, didn't it? Let's just
got introspective.
Call it a night, shall we?
Fine. Please feel free to say a prayer for me.
I find the sake does that to me as well. Yeah, it's me a bit philosophical, but here I am rambling on. As you say, I don't get many.
Does it make
so
you
it's nice
sake as well? Does it?
I didn't need the sake to be sake. Sake.
Kensuke looks at you both a bit like, yes, clearly some inside joke I'm not privy to. Excellent. So he pours himself another little bowl and just kind of sort of goes, Because I've been saving this for a while. I traded this a while back, so it's nice to share it with good company.
And we appreciate your hospitality.
Stop it.
But it's getting a bit late. Shall we retire for the eve?
Yes, perfect. I assume we want to be off bright and early.
And if there's anything that you want us to look out for that you'd be most interested in trading with, then please let us know. If you have a list or descriptions of flora, fauna, beasts and insects that would be most appealing to you, we'll keep an eye out for them.
White tigers, that spider thing you mentioned, random mounds that might be dangerous.
You've seen a white tiger?
Yes, we have. It was challenging us for its prey, but we let it be.
Oh, wow! Yeah, that's quite a beast there. I can't believe it let you go. It seems like a good choice, to be honest. If it already had secured some prey, there's no harm in you just kind of scuttling away, should we say, to get out of there. Yes. That's what I would have done. I wouldn't face down one of those, not at all.
No, that was our thinking. We just felt bad for the poor hunter that was its prey because he was still alive at the time.
He's mid sip and he's just gonna go. Well, these people know what they're getting into when they come here. You know, every day could be your last. But yes.
Yeah. You know what they say: if you live by the sword, then be prepared to die by the sword.
Die by the claw in this case.
Same, exactly.
Just so you understand, he already had mortal injuries that meant that he was beyond saving.
I don't judge. You know, this is a harsh land, and there's harsher creatures out here. At least now you've seen the full power of what can. It's not just stories. What creatures do live out there and the things they can do. No, I mean anything. If you see any particularly large creatures or species of them, then I'm sure they'll have something on them or some parts that I could make use of. I'm really looking for something with good big specimens that, I could definitely use to create works with.
Excellent.
Great. I turn in for the night with my divining rod pointed at, subtly hidden, but pointing at.
Oh, this thing's been going off the chain the whole time.
Is it actually?
No, not at all. It's been still since you walked in. Actually, it's been
remarkably calm.
Yeah. It's been
interesting.
Quite calm there.
Great.
I think that probably what led me to let my guard down and revert to just counting jars.
That and your simple low IQ.
To be fair, actually, it only took you a half a day to get here. Thinking about it.
Oh, I thought you said you had half a day and then half a day.
So it took you a full day to get from the Grove to here, but you had to split it up half and half. So you could rest and stay here. You'd have shared a nice meal with him. There'd be nothing wrong with you spending.
You've already made us spend the food.
Let's rest.
Yeah.
Spend the food. Yeah. Cool. We
spend the rest of the afternoon playing games with him and forging a strong bond.
He's not really a game playing type, but he sets about his work. He makes.
Okay, I try and help him in his craft.
Yeah, let's while we're here, let's make ourselves useful. Potentially, we could learn something.
He really just has you kind of like drying out herbs and maybe grinding some stuff. Nothing too technical. He makes you stand back as he does the mixing, and there's like a weird kind of almost distiller that he's got rigged up that he's kind of making his tinctures with. So yeah, there's a lot of sous chefing for you to do rather than any kind of actual application. But he talks to you a bit through the process about, making particular ones and how they are important. The recipes are important, and actually a lot of it's trial and error, and the unfortunate aspects sometimes that taste testing does not go well. One time he got laid up for a week trying his own thing with the fireworm breath, but it wasn't the front, it came out the rear. It was very unfortunate.
Jesus.
Fireworm butt.
I ask him if in any, we've been on the road in the jungle and traveling for a while now, and I can't even remember the last time I got to wash. I wonder if any of your byproducts are like nice smelling vials of things that have no other use. You haven't made any luxury soaps?
No, he does make washes, and he can spare a bit for you to wash with if you'd like.
Oh, that would be great.
These things aren't the money spinners for hunters, really, because often a scent will give you away to a beast. So he says you're very welcome to it. You can be clean. I tend to make, if you want ones with smells, I could make one, but I tend to make kind of a scentless option.
Yeah, a scentless sounds great.
Now we're talking. There's Old Spice and there's No Spice. That's the one for me.
Yeah, perfect. That's a good name. I might take that.
No Spice. That one.
No Spice, unseasoned. So that's why they don't. Ray. That's why they don't get for you. Yeah, exactly. You've got no seasoning on you.
Great. Yeah, we'll rest up.
Let us refresh ourselves.
Yeah. What rolls do we need to do?
For a bath?
I meant for like resting up.
Okay, so
out the day.
A D6, please, to start.
6.
As the night draws in.
A 5.
It's another.
Also 5.
Oh, it's just the one. But luckily it was 5. It's again a very similar to last night's. Again, it feels quite oppressive.
Wait,
as you're getting into the.
This isn't the like roll for bonuses to like sleep well.
No.
In our comfy place.
No.
Outrageous.
No. I gave you that because you rolled an 18 to make some fancy beds. Arguably, the beds aren't as good here. So you.
Nothing on my bamboo banana leaf.
No, it's terrible. You feel it's again, a further oppressive night. It seems to be closing in. As you get closer to the temple, things seem to be. Yeah, you can feel it more. And
do we feel it as we get closer? Do we feel it get worse?
Yes, it becomes more intense, this feeling. And the nights before, that first night you spent here, was eerily quiet and calm. And now it feels like an elastic band being stretched, and it kind of gets more and more taut, and there's a tension there. You're just waiting for something to snap, but it doesn't. And so you are, just a bit through the whole thing.
Fair enough. Well, we're asleep, so I'm just chilling. Any more dreams?
It's more, Ray, as before you go asleep, you mentioned your master earlier, and you're kind of reminded of them a bit by Kensuke, but it's a different side. It's that same kind of intensity, that same passion for it, whereas Kensuke is kind of kindly, but I think your master was more strict, gave you the ability to be as good as you can be, but also taught you some hard lessons too. They were much more of the school of tough love, and wore a mask similar to the one that you adopt and wear today. But it's that weird kind of parallel, and you wonder how things might have turned out had they maybe turned a different path towards kindness rather than severity.
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't have run away.
Maybe. And it also is nice to be greeted by this. It also reminds you of when you first enter villages, and people seem to be quite almost happy to see a new face and get news of the outside. And you always kind of wonder when that other shoe is going to drop, and when the eventual turn is going to happen, and they're going to, when they're going to push you away.
Yeah. So the divining rod is well and truly trained on him.
It's fair. Nice. Apart from that, nothing, unless there's any reflections from you, Yamanokaze?
I think I reflected enough and bored anyone with my philosophizing.
You get 2 cups
one
deep,
evening.
And that's it. You're a sake philosopher.
2 cups and no girls. What's a man to do?
Yes. What a family-friendly reference. Nice. So you sleep
Shout
in
out
the
in
night.
the comments if you want.
Stop it. Stop it. Ray, no. Divining rod is going off the charts now.
It's getting edited out.
No, it's not. It's all in, uncut, unfiltered. It's fine. I enjoy the mirth. So, we need a D20 roll, please, for the Black Calendar. Don't roll a 1.
14.
World stays teetered on the brink. There is no movement of the end times. Now, please roll your virtues and your number of spirit test capacity. I need to find a better way of expressing that.
We use a virtue to reroll our virtue or not?
6.
No. Spirit 6, nice.
2 bloody 1s.
Ooh.
Just choose a 2 again.
Okay, cool. Keep note. Yeah, dawn kind of breaks. You're woken by Kensuke kind of shuffling around, putting a kettle on to make some tea for you all. And he makes some tea, but he kind of lets the kettle boil on a bit longer as he gets absorbed into some work elsewhere. You hear him kind of muttering and scratching stuff down as he's writing. Yes.
As the tea starts whistling, I'm gonna take it off and make the tea.
Perfect.
And then I'm gonna say, so Kensuke, would you say these demon hunters? Demon army?
Demon clan.
Demon clan, sorry.
You mixed the two together. It's easily done.
Yeah. Yes. Would you say that they are a hindrance to your work and that you would be interested in the removal of them?
They're definitely a danger to be navigated, but an infrequent one, but just one that was at the back of the mind. Why?
Well, just if we perchance headed the other way, I was wondering if there was a deal that we could do if we killed some, not killed, but moved along some of the demon.
No, I think killed is probably the word you would need to do. They wouldn't be. They're not one for moving along.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be the one killing them. I think that's why I hesitated. So, but if they were to move on into the next life as part of the cycle, and if we / Yami encouraged them on that path, would that perhaps, would you be willing to, throw a potion our way to aid in that endeavor?
Make me a spirit roll.
Spirit. That is a 17.
I could give you a discount on my offerings there. Which ones are taking your fancy?
How much of a discount? Because we're a bit tight for Rio, so like a 50% off would really help us. Stick it to the demon clan.
Could you still afford it with a 50% off?
I have 80, and I know that Yami's got a bit.
But do we want to? It depends which one we're getting, I guess.
You got any? I mean, I could do some barter. What else have you got to offer me?
I left a small wagon behind, but I could go and claim it in about a week and be back.
I could offer you I've got a bone dagger. I've got talisman.
A torch. I've got a rope.
Do you? Yeah, the dagger. I could throw in the dagger. And are you offering him the seal as well?
Potentially, yeah. It depends
what
we're.
That seal is worth a lot to us.
The seal is worth a lot. I could do a fair.
That seal's probably worth like 500 Rio.
But I don't.
If not 1,000.
Really, I don't have any use for it though.
What about this smoking pipe I've got?
You can club people with that pipe, can't you? Isn't it your melee weapon?
It is a D4. Well, yes, but I also have the Kusarigama.
I could do you a 50% on one potion, 50% on one potion, and throw in the bone dagger as well. Could do that.
Which
potion?
Come
on, the bone dagger's got to be worth at least a potion. Look at this fine crafted.
It depends. Do we even want a potion? Can you run through what the potions do?
I would also say you never gave us a price for the stunning potion. And then
that's 250. 250 Rio.
And then the healing potion was 100.
It was, yes.
Which is the one that I think. Certainly, if we're giving away the healing talisman.
Oh no, we're not. We're just the bone dagger.
Okay.
So the healing potion is 200, you say?
100.
So half price, it's 50.
Yeah, but if we got
nothing gets past this year.
Half price on the 250. If we could do the stunning and the healing for Yami, do you want to chuck in all of your Rios?
One potion 50% off.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, like, I'm up in the ante, like 160.
Let's get the healing potion.
Okay, fine.
Let's just get the healing potion.
Okay, well, we can do that without even giving away the bone dagger then.
Well, no, it's only half price if you give the bone dagger.
It is.
I feel like the bone daggers probably should be worth more, but...
Well, we don't have to take any deal and just keep the bone dagger. It's fine.
Oh, we're not using it. Go on then. I give him...
Well, we're not using it yet. Do you want to keep
50
it?
Rio?
Yeah.
Sidebar. Does this bone dagger give me any additional properties? Like, is it magical or anything?
No, it's just a weapon, basically. So if you...
D4,
there are
right?
chances that your weapons can break. So having backups might be a good one. If you fumble with an attack, your weapon can break.
Okay.
So
I'm going to give you 40 Rio and the bone dagger for the healing potion.
And he says, "Where's the 10? Where's the rest of it?"
And I give another 10. I 50%ed my total Rio instead.
Oh,
yeah,
perfect, yes.
Sorry. Okay, I give him 50 Rio and Yami's bone dagger.
I get the bone dagger, yeah.
I'll take the healing potion.
Nice.
Cool. Right, so shall we head off then?
How far is it to the now that we've agreed that we're going to help you end this existential threat against your life, and we as nice companions traversing this unfriendly jungle are going to take on? How far is it to the Scarlet Temple?
It's at least a day. Maybe I've never been, so yeah. The furthest I've been away from here is about further into the jungle is around a day's travel, and that's So it's past that for sure. You can kind of see it, so it might be 2 days travel, I would say, to get there.
Well, let's crack on because we've got a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah. Let's go.
Thank you for your hospitality, and we'll see you on the way back.
Very nice to meet you both. As hopefully you understand, it's just business, you see.
No, I'm really looking forward to you paying us handsomely for providing you with
Well,
making your life safer.
Get the murder bonus, won't we? Apparently. Right, let's go, Ray. Thank you once again for your hospitality, and we'll be off.
Are you marking
luck,
down
chaps.
which tenant you're gonna like?
I'm just having a look, just seeing what tenants you are. Just see what tenants you have.
Like, you know, in an interview, when someone's like, "Oh, I'm sure to take some notes," but like, and then you see their face, and you're like, "No, this doesn't look good."
I was just seeing the tenets of the rules of the divine, you know, and you're still within them. You're still within them. It's all good.
Being very patient with him.
No, you are persevering. I will give you that. Compassion may be lacking.
Yeah, but I don't feel like this guy deserves much compassion.
Well, I meant for the demon clan, you know. You could be compassionate.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You must be compassionate to all creatures, even if they oppose you.
Those really nice-sounding, friendly people called the Demon Clan.
You don't. I
think you're prejudiced against them. You've not even met them yet. You've not.
Exactly.
Hold on, but we do know the Demon Clan, right? The Demon Clan are pretty famous, aren't they?
You thinking of the Shadow Clan?
No, I'm thinking of page 22 of the Fortress of the Oni is said to be a stronghold of a powerful demon clan that has long terrorized the surrounding regions.
So all demon clans are the same to you, is that it? Wow. Didn't expect this. We play fantasy games to escape prejudice, Jay.
We've accepted
it's like the Michelin Web sketch when they're like wearing the skull and crossbones, and they're like, "Oh, we the bad guys."
Yeah, we the baddies.
Yes, I'm sorry that I'm prejudiced against a group of people called the Demon Clan. I care about resting dead spirits and moving people on.
That's fair.
And I feel like demons are not a healthy introduction to this world since the Cataclysm 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you ever think you're a bit overzealous?
My lived experience is that demons, not great.
I feel zealotry by definition is intense. You know, you can't. I don't think you could be overzealous. I know it's a word, but I don't think you could.
As in, like, me personally, or one?
You personally.
Yeah.
Balance. Balanced opinions all round.
On the other hand, one could argue that the Demon Clan are a lovely group of people.
The creatures all hear you discussing this in the jungle as you move on.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what? I think he's right. Demon Clan. It's a bit of a misnomer there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just misunderstood.
They just like saunas and hot baths.
That's it. Good times.
It's My Chemical Romance. Right, let's keep going then.
Yeah,
let's trudge along.
Okie dokie. So yeah, the path will take you. I think it starts to climb a bit now as you're walking. He does actually say that
very thorough map.
Well, no, he tells you basically that you need to basically go up to a lake where there's, and if you want to go the other side of the lake, there's a stream that you can, or a rapid, not streams, stream you can follow up, and you want to get up to the falls. There from the falls, you could be able to climb towards the temple, but does say that, you know, if he doesn't go there frequently, and when he's never been to the falls itself, but there's been some strange kind of noises that kind of hang around there, so just he tends to stay away for that reason. So watch yourself.
I feel like strange noises in the context of the strangest place on the blimmin' planet is like not a great sign.
Almost like, you know, laughter he's heard at times. So yeah.
We found where the clowns are.
Squeaky Nose Clan next. Yeah. Cool.
The real demon clan.
Yeah, exactly.
Terrifying clowns.
As you kind of travel along the path, you spend most of the day kind of just trudging along, or most of the morning kind of trudging along. It's tough sledding, as it always has been. And you're climbing now, which makes it even worse. So the bugs are a bit more intense as they're kind of all trying to feed off you, as it would be. They're trying to, you're sweating, so someone's coming to drink like the moisture of your sweat, and you just kind of want them away. It's a real nuisance. But in doing so, you actually do stumble across a creature that kind of is crossing the path with you, and this what can only describe as a snake-like long body with a couple of like legs, and then it kind of several heads come from the body with like Venus flytrap mouths. And as it notices you, it turns and kind of, you see one of them is closed and there are some legs kind of sticking out of it. And this
what kind of legs? Like human legs?
Human
or animal
legs. Human legs.
My God.
This flytrap hydra lunges towards you, Yamano Kaze, and starts to try and attack. This was GM'd by Nick, with Jay as Rei Ishikawa and Pav as Zen Sakura. Thank you for listening. Join us next week for the next chapter.